So I want to talk to you now about a concept from transactional analysis called life script. Life script is a really interesting way of thinking about how we make meaning. Now, humans are essentially meaning-making creatures. We like to make meaning, we like to make sense of the world around us, and in particular, we like to make sense or develop a story or narrative about who we are and about the world around us. If we imagine that when we're born that we've kind of like almost got a void or a kind of almost a blank slate where we don't have any preconceived ideas about the world, and what happens is that as a result of our experiences that we draw a series of conclusions that answer sort of three basic questions that we might have got. The first one is, who am I? What kind of person am I? The next one is about who are all these other people and what can I expect from them? And then the third question is, what is this world like? What can I expect? What can I expect for quality of life to be like? As we grow and develop, we start to form a series of implicit conclusions that fundamentally are about being accepted and about being acceptable to others. Our basic human need is for belonging. We are social creatures and we need to fit in, and we want to do what we can in order to be loved and cared for. So what happens is that we learn what we need to do in order to get the belonging that we are craving deep down. And our life script goes some way to explaining that, because it fundamentally is about us finding what we need to do to be liked, what we need to do to avoid rejection. Now, the thing is that as children are growing up, they don't have the same thinking capacity as adults. So the kind of script decisions that someone might make as a child can often seem to us, if we're looking at it from an adult perspective, as a little bit irrational. But you have to remember that this was formed when someone was a child, and it's almost like become frozen in their mind in some way. The other thing, of course, is that children don't have information, so children don't have the ability to necessarily make adequate sense of a situation because they don't have the information. They also don't have very much power and they have limited options. So all of these things sort of like increase the child's vulnerability towards forming conclusions that are probably a little bit negative, probably leave them coming out bad insofar as thinking, oh, maybe I'm not a good person, and also might seem really quite irrational. At their most fundamental level, life scripts are really about us concluding whether am I a good, lovable and worthy person, and also are other people trustworthy? Are they lovable? Can I rely on them when I need to? Now, each of us builds up a story or a narrative, which is our life script, that can have quite a profound influence on how we live our lives. These life scripts can be really quite self-limiting and can really restrict what we do, how we act, what we think about, what we feel are options that are open to us. But the good news is that life script decisions can be changed. We can challenge them in our day-to-day life, and we can overcome these kind of self-limiting beliefs that we have that restrict our lives in order for us to live more happy and fulfilling lives.